Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is a slightly different one. Obviously we're in the international break, so there's not loads to talk about, but today we're going to be looking at the FPL teams of some players and some other people. So we're going to go through Salah, Trent, Robbo, Alfie Haaland, who's obviously Haaland's dad, and KSI, and we're going to have a look at all of their FPL teams. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we get into it, where you can find the teams of these players is fpl.page and fplbot.app. I'll put them in the description so you can have a look around all the players' teams. But first up is Mo Salah. Now, this was a weird one. Salah in game week 1 had a fantastic week. After game week 1 he was around 400k in rank, and then before game week 2 started he decided to make 10 transfers, meaning that it was a minus 36, which after game week 2 took him to about 6 million, I think. He's now 4.7 million, as you can see on screen, so we got a green arrow in game week 3. This is his game week 3 team. Now, obviously, he's got himself. He captained himself, of course. Besides that, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, he's got triple Liverpool, as you'd expect. He's got Robertson, he's got Jota, and he's got himself. He's got Calvert-Lewin, who obviously got some nice points this week. He's got Rodgers, he's got Son, Maddison, Isak, all good teams, all good players. He's got Ake, Saliba, Ederson, so all good players. His bench, not the best. He's got Barco. So that means he took a minus 36 and made 10 transfers, but either brought in or kept Barco, which was an interesting one. He's got Welbeck, who is not bad going forward. He's got Johnson, who didn't play, but his team in general doesn't look too bad. As you'd expect, it is Liverpool heavy, but yeah, he captained himself, which worked out this week. 17 points, 34, obviously, because of captain. So going forward, he's probably all right. It was just that minus 36 that he took last week, which was a bit of an odd one. Anyway, moving on to the next team. Okay, next up, we've got Andy Robertson's team. Now, again, as you'd expect, he's got triple Liverpool. He's got Salah, he's got Jota, and he's got himself. However, this week, he decided not to captain Salah or any of his other Liverpool players. He captained Palmer, which obviously Palmer did get an assist, but didn't quite work out given most people either captained Haaland or captained his teammate Salah. But Robertson started pretty well. After game week 1, he was around 200, 300k. And then game week 2 and 3 weren't the best for him. He's dropped down to 2.4 million, as you can see. But again, his team's pretty good. He's gone big at the back. He's got himself, Gvardiol, Saliba, Porro and Raya. So really heavy at the back. Then his midfield consists of Salah, Jota, Palmer. And then up front he's got Muniz, he's got Watkins, and he's got João Pedro. João Pedro obviously did great this week. That also means he has no Haaland, which I guess you'd expect from the Liverpool team potentially. He's got Garnacho on the bench, he's got Winks and Kilman. So again, not a bad team, but yeah, just got the captaincy wrong this week and hasn't had a good couple of weeks, but he hasn't taken any hits this season, so yeah, his team looks good going forward. Okay, so next up, as you can see, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold's team. He is sitting 129k in rank, which is top of the players' leaderboard on fpl.page. So he's having a great start to the season. He, after game week 1, was about 2 million. In game week 2, interestingly, he actually captained Haaland. He triple captained Haaland, sorry. So he's used his triple captain on Haaland in game week 2, which is kind of mainly the reason that he's up at the rank he is. But obviously, again, he has triple Liverpool. He has Salah, he has Jota, he has himself. And he captained Salah this week, so he's got captaincy right 2 weeks in a row. Absolutely smashed that. Then he's got a good defence. He's got Robinson, Gvardiol, Saliba and himself, obviously. He's got Gordon, he's got Kudos in there, which is a nice differential. Then he's got Haaland up front, obviously, and João Pedro. The bench is just cheap as it can get, pretty much. But yeah, he's used his triple captain, and it has helped him to make his way to the top of the players' leaderboard. So, great start to the season for Trent. Okay, next up we've got Alfie Haaland's team. Obviously, former Premier League player himself, and also Erling Haaland's dad. He's ranked 2.2 million currently. His game week 1 was pretty terrible. He only managed 40 something points, and he was about 7 million in rank after game week 1. However, he also used his triple captain in game week 2 on his son, of course. He's captain Haaland every week, which is unsurprising. I imagine he probably does that every game week of the season. In game week 2, yeah, he got about 96 points, I think. He had Gordon, who returned. He had Romero, who got about 14 points. He had De Bruyne, who hauled. He triple captained Erling Haaland, obviously. He's got Chris Wood, who has scored some good points. He's got Wissa, who's also scored some good points. So his team's pretty good. He's got Eze, who did well this week. He has Pedro Neto, which is a slightly weird one, although I do imagine he'll probably start going forward. But yeah, apart from that, his team is pretty good, to be honest. Saliba, Romero, Dunk, Anderson, Gehi as his defenders. He's got Bowen on the bench, so he's got a deep, deep team. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he captains Haaland every week of the season. And he's also got De Bruyne, so if De Bruyne's assisting Haaland, he could be in the points. Okay, and last up we have KSI. Now, he actually used his wild card in game week 3. He hasn't used his triple captain, but yeah, he used his wild card in game week 3. He sits at 792k. So again, pretty good start to the season. He's got Martinez in goal, which for the next few weeks looks good. Konsa as a double up on Villa. Robinson and Robertson both look good. He's got Smith Rowe, Rodgers, and then he's got Mbomo, Palmer, Salah, Muniz and Haaland. So this week he kind of cleaned up with the goal scoring. Obviously Mbomo 14 points, Salah 17, Haaland 17, but he did captain Palmer, who only got 6 points, so 12 because he captained him. So if he captained someone else, he'd have been flying right now. He'd probably been top 500k. He also did bench João Pedro, unfortunately, although he was playing Arsenal, so I was considering it myself. It was a pretty reasonable thing to do. But yeah, he's having a great start to the season, 792k, and his team looks pretty well set up for the next few weeks. Okay, that wraps up today's video. If you liked it, then make sure you make sure you subscribe. It's a bit of a different one, but as we're in the international break, it kind of made sense to do something a little bit different. If you want to check out any of these teams or any other players' teams, then check out fpl.page and check out fplbot.app. The links to them will be in the description of this video. But for now, that's this one done, so I'll see you in the next one.